Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you are listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. It is November the 7th, 2020, and today we're going to talk about why. The interesting thing this morning is that my throat is a bit scratchy, but hey, we're going to go ahead and move forward in the name of Jesus. I'm yet here. I'm yet alive. So, I'm going to keep on doing the juice. Actually been up for a few hours. I guess for a while now. You probably have seen me posting. Or you've seen God, Sex, and Love posting and things like that. Or if you follow me on any other thing, you probably see me posting there as well. Or in my groups or whatever the case is. But yeah, so I've been up for a few hours. I say all that to say. And, I guess I had a few things on my mind that could be topics for today. But, after my routine, which I didn't do the main routine, but I did a modified version, but I did do 2 sets of stretching. So I kind of did a full routine, kind of. But anywho, so I started off with that, and then of course I did my prayer and meditation, and of course after I did that, boom, here we are. The question why came to my mind. I know that's the number one question when it comes to Christianity. There's a lot of whys. People have a lot of why questions. Why this? Why that? Why did God allow this? Why does God allow that? Why did he do this? Why did he do that? Oh, why, right? Well, I'm not gonna necessarily probably, and I don't know what God gonna say through me today. In my mind, I don't know if I'm gonna actually answer the question why, but hopefully it'll help, us get some perspective of why. The Bible verses that I came across today, and hopefully it gives us some understanding, and can encourage and inspire you this morning. All right. So here we go. Isaiah 55, 8-9 says, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. For as the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my thoughts higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thoughts. So are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts your thoughts." So, that's one way to kick this thing off. While we over here busy asking why. Now at the end of the day, like I've said repeatedly here on the juice, so I guess it's nothing new that I just feel like at the end of the day, we're not going to fully understand God and his ways and God and his thoughts. Here it says clearly that, our ways are not his ways and our thoughts are not his thoughts. So even when we ask why, and even if he gives us a straight answer, we may not still even understand, because that's, I guess, the level of thinking. I guess obviously he won't reveal things to us until it's time for him to reveal things to us, or until he wants to reveal things to us. So, now, again, I don't think there's anything wrong with questioning per se. I think that, maybe going to God and, asking for some type of wisdom or asking for some understanding. I don't think anything is wrong with that. But, at the same time, too, it's like, putting it into perspective that, who are we to demand anything of God, it kind of reminds me of Job, even though I didn't write down no Job verses per se, but it reminds me of Job because, even Job, even though he did not sin and he did not, deny God or any of those things, he still had his questions. He still wanted to know, like, what was going on, Lord? Like, wait a minute, like, did I do something? Like, what's happening here? And even in that, God's answer is just so, I was going to say profound and so interesting of a response and everything like that. But hey, y'all can go deeper on that and read that on your own. I guess I'll put that in the go deeper section. I had just, we'll see. But that's something to go deeper with on your own, reading that and checking out the response of God when Job questioned why. But check this out. Luke 1:37 says, "For nothing will be impossible with God." Like I've been telling you guys, I guess all week it's been this whole thing about, I guess what we started off with the Mirage, and then we started off with all these things, and then it's like, people may be, it depends on where you are on the end of the spectrum right now. I don't know if you're one of them people that's celebrating right now, or if you're one of those people that are like asking God why. Either way, I mean, I guess this message is kind of for the ones that are asking why, but not even just particularly about, what's actually going on right now. I mean, this can fit the general question of why when it comes to things of God and the Bible and everything like that. So, but anywho, Luke 1:37 says, "For nothing is impossible with God." In spite of how things look, in spite of how things are quote unquote going right now, if anyone that is concerned about the things that are happening, especially here in the U.S. at this present moment, understand that nothing is impossible for God. So just like one day this thing can be looking one way and boom, it can be looking another way. I'm not going to sit here and say that I know when anything's going to happen now, But, those of you all that listen to prophecies and things like that, I'm pretty sure you guys have heard the prophecies, so I ain't gonna sit here and and if you haven't heard now, I guess you can Google or something, I don't know. But, I'm sure you guys have heard the prophecies about this election, right? And right now it don't look like it's going that way. And that's a very interesting, thing to think about right now, because it's interesting, because on one hand it can make people doubt, or it can make people fear, or it can make people feel as if maybe I didn't hear from God, or maybe that prophet didn't hear from God, or all the things that make you question maybe even God, like this is proof that there is no God. Like some people would go that route with it as well. Just because things are looking like they're going a certain way right now, But hey, our ways are not his ways, and our thoughts are not his thoughts. And at the end of the day, what I'm seeing right now is that in spite of how things look and everything like that, one thing that is definitely clear is that there's corruption. And I don't know if everybody can see that, but there's definitely clear that something shady is going on. Maybe in the mainstream media, maybe in our, politics, like all of this stuff. It just seems like there's something fishy happening, and the public is being told one thing, but then there's something totally different going on, and it's crazy to me how I don't know if I talked about this on the previous juice or not, but I want to say some months ago, Pastor David Lynn pretty much called out, and he was talking about their media up there in Canada, but he did kind of mention America's media as well. And he basically was just pointing out the fact that, hey, perhaps Christians should not even be listening or following the news, because the news has been proven to be biased. It's been proven to be, I guess I'll just leave it at that. It's been proven to be a bit biased and everything like that. So, because of that, it's corrupted, and unfortunately that's, it's unfortunate to say, I guess, but that you can't, because on one hand, it's like, well, where can we find unbiased news? And it's so funny to me how, I want to say, if you go on YouTube or something like that, you'll see Australia talking about the elections and stuff like that in an unbiased way. And it's like, so we got to go and listen to people talk about it outside of the U.S. versus actually watching our news that is here. like that type of stuff. Like, to me, that's more, yeah, it would be great to know who the president is right now and all that stuff. But I think even depending on who's in there, but I was going to say that basically we probably should be looking into that as well. The fact that we can't get unbiased news here in the U.S. I don't know. That's something to deeply think about. I didn't even know I was gonna talk about that, but that's just something, y'all, to think about and keep in your back pocket and let marinate. That, hey, perhaps if I'm a Christian, perhaps I shouldn't be paying attention to what the media is saying, because there's a lot of, back and forth. There's a lot of bias. There's a lot of, there's a lot. I just feel like there's a lot of. But anywho, let's keep going. Jeremiah 32:17 says, Lord God, it is you who have made the heavens and the earth by your great power and by your outstretched arm. Nothing is too hard for you. Again, that if there's things that we're questioning, and I mean, obviously there's a lot that we're questioning, right? There's a lot of things that people are questioning God about these days. But I mean, nothing is hard for God. I guess it's just, we just really got to tackle this perspective, our perspective on everything. Like, I don't know how you guys see God. I don't even know if you guys acknowledge God or everything like that. But I mean, if you guys are followers of Christ, right, and you're like, okay, I acknowledge God and everything like that, then what does that mean to you to know that He, made the heavens and the earth? What does that mean to know that, by His power and outstretched hand, that nothing is too hard for Him? I don't know what that means to you. I don't know if that encourages you to know that. But, I guess for me, it kind of puts it into perspective again to know that, okay, there's nothing to fear. There's nothing to worry about. Like, even nothing to fear, nothing to worry about. There's nothing even else to say about that. I guess it actually reminds me of this post I shared this morning, if I'm not mistaken, or last night one, where it was saying something along the lines of, like, we need to get to the place where we, even when things don't go our way, are trusting God. I have to find it. Sorry, I don't know. It's on our Facebook or whatever, but something along the lines of, like, our trusting God. Like, even when things don't go our way, we don't get upset because of our trust in God or something like that. I feel like that's the place I'm in right now. I mean, now I've shared with you guys over and over again on the juice, so I know, I don't want to keep saying it or whatever, but, how 2019 was for me. And that's like, and I was like, straight up, maybe even asking why, maybe even questioning, being like, and I was documenting the whole thing too. So I guess that kind of could show, like, where my faith was or whatever the case is. But it was hard, and it was like, Lord, I know you told me to do this. You told me to go and look for a venue. You know what I'm saying? You opened the doors for me to be able to get the venue, and then next thing I know, closed door. And then you open the door for another venue, but then next thing I know, all these things are happening that's not allowing me to open the doors. It's like, what do you want me to do with this? You know what I mean? Like, why, right? Why? But I tell y'all, man, I told y'all before, but I'll tell you again that, at the end of the day, all of that stuff that happened last year would just pretty much pave the way for all the blessings that is happening for us this year. And I say for us, like for me and my family, and everything, our household. So, I don't know. I don't know what would have happened if I didn't, step out on faith and do the things I did last year. I don't know, but that's the thing. It's like, we need to be doing what we're supposed to do, regardless of how things look, regardless of, what we think should be going on and happening right now, whatever the case is. We just need to do our part. Yeah, God's gonna do His part. That's just something to keep in your back pocket. We'll see. About all that. Check this out. Revelation 21:6 says, "And He said to me, it is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. To the thirsty, I will give from the spring of the water of life without payment. Now listen, y'all, look, God's giving us the spring of water of life without payment. Y'all know y'all don't want to do nothing without no payment. Humans, we don't want to do nothing without pay, right? Again, this is just a thing that for me just kind of puts some things in perspective. It's not necessarily to, I don't know. I guess I just feel like I said that to hopefully put into perspective for us this morning that, God is just opening doors and doing so many things for us, and that, He's the beginning and the end, and, regardless, yeah, He's doing it out of the kindness of His heart, the grace and mercy, just every day, Just think about it, y'all. 1 Peter 1:6-7 says, "In this rejoice, though now for a little while, if necessary, you have been grieved by various trials, so that the tested genuineness of your faith, more precious than gold that perishes though it is tested by fire, may be found to result in praise and glory and honor at the revelation of Jesus Christ." Man, you know what now this is just me now. I don't know what God gonna do. I'm not sitting here trying to act like I know exactly, but what I see right now, what I kind of feel like is happening is really getting set up for God to show out. And I know that, again, I don't know how you looking at that. You know what I mean? That may not be good news for you, but for those that are wondering why and questioning why right now, that might be some good news for you and look for us or whatever the case is. I feel like everything is falling into place to not only reveal, like I was saying earlier, I guess the corruption and all the stuff that's going on with the media and reveal all that stuff, but then for God to just do something miraculous, as they say, miraculous. It's so funny. I only say that because people think my name is Miraculous, but that's another thing. Anyway, but yeah, miraculous. Do something miraculous, something that nobody would think is possible. By the way things look, because everybody's so focused on the way things looking right now. But hey, I don't know. We'll see. I don't know. Hebrews 6:18 says, "So that by two unchangeable things in which it is impossible for God to lie, we who have fled for refuge might have strong encouragement to hold fast to the hope set before us." There you go again, friends. Just some more confirmation in regards to, again, doing what we need to be doing. We need to be trusting God. We need to be having faith. We need to be continuing to do the will of God. I could be in my feelings right now and be like, oh, things ain't looking the way I thought it was going to look. And then be like, I'm not getting up in the morning to do the juice. What's the purpose of that? If God doesn't set forth before me to do the juice, I need to be doing the juice regardless of what things look like. That's just an example, but I'm just saying, I don't know, but man, listen, y'all know too often we get in our feelings and be like, oh, I don't feel like doing this, I don't feel like doing that, and you know how we be. I'm gonna sit here explaining that to y'all. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Anyway, Romans 8:18 says, "For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worth." Here we go. Are not worth comparing. I'm going to read that again. Here we go. "For I consider that the sufferings of this present time are not worth comparing with the glory that is to be revealed to us." There you go, friends. So, hey, if you're wondering why right now, don't worry. Okay, go to God for understanding, and everything like that. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with asking God for some understanding. However, I wouldn't worry. I wouldn't fret. I would sit here and just wait to see what God gonna do. And just leave it at that, friends, because check this out, y'all. If this ain't confirmation, I don't know what is. The Bible verse of today, Hebrews 11:6 says, but without faith it is impossible to please him. For he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a worker of them. I want to make sure that's it. A rewarder. I knew that someone right when I said that. Let me say it again. But without faith, it is impossible to please him, for he that cometh to God must believe that he is, and that he is a rewarder of them that diligently seek him. Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all on Monday, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. Everyone is stuck at home, but life is still happening around us every day. Birthdays, anniversaries, holidays, and celebrations. Send your friends and family the gift of wine from the comforts of home. Wine shop at home with Miracle of Wine. Wine, gift baskets, wine accessories, and more at miracleofwine.com.